I've been asked a question this week, which I'm sure we can all relate to, which is how can I stop my kitten from biting me in bed? Now, there are two sides to this question. Firstly, it's the natural side of things. So, this is going to be something that naturally feeds into a kitten's normal behavior. So, kittens are so playful, they're so full of energy, and it feels like that sometimes that it's absolutely relentless. Like they're always up for a play session and they never feel like they're totally exhausted. This combined with the fact that they don't sleep overnight naturally, they'll sleep for small periods during the day and they'll have active periods at night too, then you find that sometimes your kitten will wake up in the middle of the night, super active and wanting to play. Playing with feet under the cover really taps into their natural drive to hunt something, so it's really hard for them to resist a secret hidden something moving around under the covers. Because for all they know, that's a mouse scuttling under some leaves, or that's a snake slithering around in the grass. So naturally, they're going to have an innate drive to jump on that, to pounce on it, to hunt it. And we know that play is just a replication of hunting, it's practice. This might become a problem because they might start hurting you, or they might start chasing your feet at other times of the day. So if you stick your foot out of the covers in the middle of the night, your cat might think, yes, amazing, this is something I can pounce on, I can jump up and catch. And when you move them back inside, the movement will stimulate that even more because you're effectively a prey item trying to escape. So they will continue to pursue it, and it's loads of fun for them. So we need to make sure that the kitten is getting lots and lots and lots of stimulation all the rest of the time. Because at that moment, when you're in bed, when you're trying to get to sleep, your feet will be the most fun thing in the room normally. So you can understand why, if your kitten has a sudden burst of energy, why that's where they're going to focus their attention. And here is where the second thing comes into play, and this is learning. So the very first time that you do this, then they have learned now that this is a fun game. This is something we can do every day. And it might not be so much of a problem when they're little and their claws are softer and their little paws are so dainty and adorable and it's not an issue. What happens when your kitten is 10 months or 1 year and they're still super playful, but they've got a grown up body now. So they've got sharp teeth, their claws are sharp and fast, and they still enjoy this exact same behavior, and that exact same game is going to really hurt you now. So we want to make sure right back at the beginning that we're not encouraging this behavior. And I know it's hard, but we're not like on purposely moving our feet around under the covers because that's going to encourage them to do it. So again, there are two ways to combat this, and we need to do both of them. So firstly is to deal with that natural behavior. So we want to make sure they're getting plenty of stimulation all throughout the day. And I'm not saying you need to play with them endlessly. They should be playful on their own, but make sure you're setting up things that encourage them to play. So keep your toys on a rotation so that they've got new toys to play with every day that they haven't seen in a couple of days. You can use things like catnip or other scents to encourage them to play like that. And if they're looking for things to chase and to like find things that are hidden, then set things up that do that. So you can fill a cardboard box up with scrunched up paper and put treats or toys in. There's this really cool like play mat that I can never explain, and I'll link to in the comments, which is like a scrunched up rug where for a kitten it's amazing because you can create lots of little nooks and crannies on there, and you can hide treats in there and little toys, and they can go to town with that stuff. So you're giving them an outlet for this behavior, but you're not involved, and it's a really appropriate way of getting that done. Just remember that while they're little, they will have bursts of energy all through the day. So if they're asleep, I'm not saying you need to go and wake them up and be like, come on, it's time to play. I've got 10 minutes, let's play now. But at the times when you're seeing these natural bursts of energy, then really get them stimulated, run along those wand toys along the floor, get them running, get them chasing, and use up that energy as much as you can. When it comes to bedtime, we want to teach them that now this is a time to calm down. So like play with them before bed, but once you're in bed, that should be the end of it. And now like we're hoping to set up the routine that at nighttime it's downtime, it's quiet, it's time to settle down. Still leave your toys out in case they do have bursts of energy through the night, that there are toys around for them to play with, but we don't want them learning that you're available to play with them throughout the night. And next we need to deal with the learnt side of things. So if your cat's already learnt to do this and it is a problem, and that's why you're here, then you need to now physically prevent your cat from getting your feet, because we need to break that habit now. So it could be that you place an extra blanket over your feet, you really tuck yourself in so that they can't get their paws under, and be careful with how you move as well. Like if you move around loads in bed, that is only going to entice them to chase it more. So while your kitten's around, while they're active, while they're walking on the covers, try to keep still and keep yourself all tucked in so they don't really have that opportunity to do it. This, combined with the fact that they are super stimulated through the day and there are toys available for them to play with on their own, should mean that naturally they leave your feet alone and start playing with other things, or ideally settle down for the night. If they do manage to catch you off guard and they're already going for your feet, then keep quite a large toy to hand that you can slide underneath them and get their attention redirected onto that. So I'd recommend something like a Kickaroo from Kong, which I'll link again to in the comments, or a stuffed toy, something that's just the right size for them to have a little wrestle with without you having to be involved. One thing I would add is not to tell them off for it. So it's really hard because we just want to go to bed. And the kitten is relentlessly going, no, 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 I want to play. And if they get you, then it really hurts. So I can see why this would make you cross or upset, and we want to just try anything to get them to stop. But if you raise your voice, if you push them down, if you smack them, if you do anything that they're going to find unpleasant, then this is going to make the problem much, much worse because they'll still want to play. So they'll still do all that stuff that won't help with the problem itself. And you will also see aggression in other situations too. So they might bite your hand when you try to stroke them because last night you smacked them. So they don't trust hands when you begin all this sort of stuff. And it can affect your relationship going forward. So to summarize then, we want to make sure the kitten's getting loads and loads of stimulation to meet that natural need. We want to physically prevent them from using your feet as toys so that they don't set up that bad habit of like, yes, bedtime, I know what this means. And we want to make sure we're keeping your relationship nice and positive and avoiding any sort of punishment. Anyway, I hope that helps. Do let me know if you have any other questions, and I will see you next week for another video. Take care. Bye.